Time for some science explanation. How many languages can you speak? Did you know that math is a language? How many seconds is equal to 1 year? Today's topic is dimensional analysis, folks. And all that is just a way to translate meaning from one thing to another. Well, I take years and I put it on the bottom. There's 365 days in 1 year. So 365 days divided by 1 year is equal to 1. I'm just translating it from years to days.
365 times 24 times 60 times 60.
31,536,000 seconds per year. 1 year times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. Except each of those ones was a translator. So really what we're doing here is through the dimensional analysis, we're just paying attention to what's on the top and what's on the bottom, and we're intentionally canceling them out. We're just taking something in one language and we're translating it into a different language without changing how big it is. Let me show you what I mean with this ruler right here. I can translate from inches to centimeters by using what we call units. Now, this unit right here has a size, it has a meaning. This has a size, it has a meaning. Say, for example, if we're talking about distance, we say 5. 5 equals 5, right? However,
what if this is 5 inches and this is 5 months?
In that case, 5 doesn't equal 5, does it? Even though the number parts are the same. These labels right here have meaning and size in them as well. They're both measuring how long something is, but an inch is much smaller than a mile. We're talking two different languages here. So here, if I want to translate inches to centimeters, it's very simple. So I'm going to start out like this. How many centimeters is equal to 12 inches? I can say that 1 inch divided by 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1. Because these are the same size, this divided by itself is 1. So I can multiply these by these 1 factors and not change the size of my actual quantity. This quantity has a number piece and it has a units piece. So how many centimeters is 12 inches? Well, all I need to do is multiply by 1, right? Anytime you have a fraction, that's the same thing as a divided by. So if I put inches on the bottom here, this inches is going to cancel out with that inches because I would have inches divided by inches, right? I want to make this whole thing right here 1.
I'm going to say 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1 inch, right?
Now look at this. The inches disappears and all I have left is centimeters. And I would take 12 times 2.54.
12 times 2.54. I get 30.48.
Which matches that there. You see that? 30.48 centimeters is saying the same exact thing as 12 inches in a different language. That's really what I'm trying to show you is how to do this process so that you can speak the language more effectively. Say, for example, you wanted to get a new iPhone XS and it costs about $1,000. Let's say that you have a job and you're making $7 an hour. You want to figure out how many hours do you got to work that translates to that iPhone in your pocket. So here's how you would set it up. How many hours is equal to the iPhone?
Well, we can cancel off the iPhone right here because one's on the top, one's on the bottom. We translated the iPhone to dollars by multiplying this by 1. Okay, multiply it by 1 because $1,000 divided by iPhone is 1 since they equal each other. And then I have dollars here, so I have to put dollars here. This is what you make in your job. $7 per hour. This is 1 because $7 and 1 hour at your job are the same thing. So I take $1,000 divided by 7.
I'd have to work for 143 hours before I had paid for that iPhone. How many weeks is that? Well, if you get 20 hours a week.
So how many weeks is 143 hours at work? Well, it depends on how many hours a week you get. So if I were to say hours of work per week, I gotta have hours of work on the bottom so that the math works out. I would say if I'm getting 20 hours per 1 week,
I would take 143 divided by 20. You're looking at 7 weeks to pay for that iPhone. And by then, it's going to be obsolete. Let's think of it another way. Let's say you wanted to figure out how many activities should you be doing per day in order to finish a class in a month.
Well, what we know is most classes have more than 200 activities.
Some 240. This divided by this is equal to 1, right? So I could multiply that. So what I want to do is I want to change this class on the top to be activities instead, or I want to change this month into days. So what I'm going to do is, if I have month here, I can put month up here. And this month will cancel out with this month.
Because one is on the bottom and one is on the top. 4 weeks in 1 month. You gotta put in 5 days. Make sure I put it on the right side. You gotta put in 5 days, now the weeks cancel right there.
Now look, I have days on the bottom and that part of my language is set. Now I can take a look at class and turn it into activities.
So if I okay, I need class on the bottom over here. So the class is on the bottom and the top. So it cancels. One class is about 200 activities.
One class per 1 month is what my goal is. I wanted to translate that into how many activities do I got to do per day. If I take 1 times 200, which would be 200 on the top, divided by 4 times 5, which is 200 divided by 20, which is 10 activities per day. For a 200 activity class, you need to do 10 activities per day. So dimensional analysis is a way to translate meaning into a different language. Dimensional analysis for me has helped me make personal decisions as far as do I make a purchase or not make a purchase. It's helped clarify things. But you can use dimensional analysis in chemistry, in physics courses, in your math classes, and in money. It's just basically programming a way of thinking. And the better that you understand how to communicate, the stronger you are. This has been an episode of Kitchen Table Science. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed it.